And welcome back, guys. Friday night, and here we are again. Indian Rider Radio After Hours Live. We're coming to you on Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Curtis Sawyer from Indian Rider Radio. And you know my partner in crime, the guy that gets me in more trouble than I ought to be allowed to get into. There's Ridingfish, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
I just love the applause every week. It's like my highlight. Well, normally it's my highlight. This week, much different highlight. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you got some big news. We have, it's been a crazy busy week, right? Everybody has been doing a ton of stuff. Indian's been busy. Obviously, that makes me busy. And then you, sir, you've been back and forth to dealerships, back and forth to mailing addresses. You've done some crazy stuff. What is it that you are up to?
So, first of all, about 3 weeks ago, I planned a whole bunch of overtime for this week. Because,
Of course you did, because you knew you would be busy.
Well, the bills don't pay themselves. And I'm like, what the hell's going on the first week of March? Nothing. I'm gonna be headed over to Daytona, so it's gonna probably be a relaxing week. I fly out on the 12th, whatever. Yeah, overtime sounds good.
All right, sign me up.
Yeah. Tuesday I find out ECU's got cracked.
Oh, yeah. Lloyd's Garage kicking it hard with that. My God, that was crazy because that was really, it came out of almost nowhere, right? I mean, nobody had any really heads up that this was coming down. And then words in your lap, they announced it on Facebook and Instagram. And then your phone started blowing up.
Yeah. So, was I blowing up their phone or were they blowing up mine?
Yeah, come on.
So I start talking to Ryan and Amanda, and one thing leads to another, and how we got it done, I don't know. But tomorrow morning, I'm picking up a Challenger, my Challenger, with a reflashed ECU by Lloyd's Garage.
Ooh, yeah. Now you had told me Okay, wait a minute, hold it. That deserves this. Let me try it again.
I can't wipe it off.
Yeah.
I cannot wipe it off right now.
It just feels uncomfortable when you do that, doesn't it?
Oh, dude!
Congratulations, man! You are the first in line, and now your bike has already your ECU has been there and back. Yep. Now here you are, ready to rock and roll,
and it's ready. So, the guys at Bison Thunder were cool, and one of the techs calls me and goes, "Can I run it to make sure everything's right before you come get it tomorrow and there's no surprises?" I said, yeah. By the way, it's Brian, the guy I bought the FTR from. So I tell him, yeah, man, go ahead, run it. Just shoot me a text that everything is good, right?
Yeah.
I get a call.
You got a call. All right, good. All right.
Oh no, you're calling me, bro. What's up? You could hear the excitement in his voice.
Yeah.
Your motorcycle is a monster beast. Beep, all the good stuff.
Oh man. Well, that's great. Congratulations, man. That's going to be incredible. Now you're obviously going to go video crazy on it. Are you working on some now? You got a couple that you're ready to offload, aren't you?
I do have a little. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to halt them.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little bit out of order. So what I'm going to do for everybody watching on Facebook and everything, if you're interested in this, I'm going to go pick up my bike tomorrow. I'm going to do some review videos. I'm going to shoot some videos and my initial thoughts of what the new Lloyd's Garage ECU flash tune. Is it called flash tune? Reflash? What should we call it this?
I don't know. They call it the CRTV1.
There you go. Okay, so the new CRTV1. They should just call it the fish tune. That would be cool.
Hey, just trademark that right now. Just put a number on that and be done.
Anyway, so
stop making around. Yeah,
I'm gonna pull an all-nighter Saturday.
I'm gonna do people on this for you.
I'm gonna do the best I can, and I will get a video out Sunday.
Excellent, good.
So hit subscribe.
Yeah, there's the gratuitous plug that I was looking for. That's the one. Beautiful.
So one of the stars of your show this week asks, do I have cams? I don't have cams, but I will give you an interesting thing. I do have a Challenger set up to run with tomorrow on a closed course, private course, and a race course, completely legal.
Nice.
to see what the difference is
Very
between
cool.
a Lloyd Stage 1 tuned and then the Indian factory with cams. So,
Man.
uh,
Oh, boy.
Ryan doesn't think a fish tune is a good idea.
What? Wait, what? It's probably going to get another, like, what? Wait, now, wait a minute. Tartar sauce. You have secret sauce. The tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Yeah, come on now.
Oh, yeah, we're going to Mexico. We're going to Mexico.
We're all going to Mexico.
We're going to Mexico. Hey, but I do want to say anybody, so I'm going to Daytona on the 12th.
Okay.
And I do want to say they have very few limited spots available. And if you're interested, right here's the number. Text them at 843-318-2440 to set up some fun times in Daytona. I mean, reflashes or whatever you're going to do. But they told me, hey, we don't have a lot of spots.
Right.
So you got to get on it. So if I were you guys, I'd get on ASAP to try to figure out if they have a time slot for you while you're there.
Absolutely.
I'll leave that up for a minute and all the good stuff.
So
Hey,
while doing that, what do you expect out of it? You know, you've had a chance to talk to Ryan, and we're going to come back. Well, we'll come back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that just a little bit after the top of the hour. And we wanted to just make sure everybody got gathered in. Glad to see you're all dropping by, and we have plenty of activity in the comments already. And we have a very special guest coming up.
Yeah. The singer, right? Ricky Martin. Is that him?
You cannot be the first one who threw that joke in his lap. I don't care who you are. I want to bring in and we'll introduce him really quickly. Then we got to go to a break. We'll come right back. But let me show you who we got hanging around tonight. Ricky Not So Martin. This is what it's all about. Ricky, you deserve the studio audience.
What's up? What's up? Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
I paid good money for that. Don't know.
I believe you.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's the first time I've heard that joke. Yeah.
It was. Yeah, the applause, by the way, were used in the Price is Right episode from 1978.
Nice.
What are you doing there? Well, here first, congratulations on being an ambassador. This is just an amazing thing. I think that India Motorcycle has found some amazing people, you being one, to speak out to a different audience than maybe I could ever reach. Or, you know, you can reach people in a different way. Let's put it that way. And you can find new folks out there and bring them into the experience. You guys have really, you got your hands full. You got a big job.
Yeah, it's a very, I wasn't definitely. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Oh yeah, you're good, man.
Big echo.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it was something that I definitely wasn't expecting. I was just taking pictures. I moved over here to Austin in 2017, and I stopped taking pictures completely. And it wasn't until I got the bike that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start taking pictures again and share them on Instagram and all that. So
sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a true honor. It's a big responsibility, and definitely I take it seriously. But yeah, it's I'm just gonna keep on doing what I've been doing until now. So,
all right, we're gonna come back and talk with Ricky Not So Martin. We're gonna talk Challenger tunes. We might even talk a little bit of Chieftain Elite. You don't even know. We'll all do that in just a minute. Don't go away.
I'm in Bison Thunder here in St. Paul. They want to sell you a bike and help you build a bike. Yeah. Why wait till all the parts are on back order?
We have special things going on that we put in our dealership in Minnesota. We're signing people out and they're not even paying for their bike for up to 4 months.
Buy them now.
Yep. No Worries Promise, which is lifetime powertrain. First 2 years maintenance and wear items are covered on all new bikes, the heavyweight.
Bison Thunder here in St. Paul. Also have one in Rogers. All right. So that's where they are. Come to Bison Thunder, St. Paul. Home of No Worries Promise.
Yes, sir. Peace.
And welcome back. Indian Rider Radio After Hours. I'm Curtis Sawyer alongside the one, the only, the Ridingfish. You find him on YouTube, and we find him here every Friday night. Dude, you had that FTR of yours out this week because your Challenger was getting the ECU pulled and you were out running around on the bike. What do you think so far?
Oh, I love it. Just saying, because of my setup, I may or may have just jumped curbs.
Yeah. Okay.
What are driveways for when you have that kind of bike?
Exactly. Backyard. There's no limits.
I think the kids these days would say totes overrated.
Okay, totes overrated. Well, we don't have that problem. This guy doesn't have that problem at all. Ricky Not So Martin back on the.
Oh man,
what have you been up to? What are you doing? Are you working on stuff in there, or is that?
I can't barely hear you guys are breaking up. I think I'm having troubles with my internet.
Well, I'll let you fix that. We'll come back.
Yeah.
All right. He does his thing. We'll talk for a minute because we got a couple of things I need to talk with you about. First, wow. The reception to our Canadian guests has been huge. This time today, we set a record for the first day downloads, and episode 9 is out, and we meet Ben Dulude and Blair Loney, and those guys are fun to talk to. We had a great time, and that was super. And we had our Custom Dynamics winner, and I've got an offer for you. I have yet another $500 gift card.
You're giving me a $500 gift card? Oh my God. Custom Dynamics. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. This is the best week ever. My Challenger got taken care of, and now my head. Wait a minute. Wait, did I interrupt you?
Well, I was in mid thought. Yeah. I was kind of, I was on a roll. I had something going there.
Oh, I'm totally good with this though. I mean, thank you so much, Custom Dynamics, for the $500. I already know how I'm going to spend. I already have my cart. Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, because basically it's this way. I'm giving it away. It's not yours.
Yeah,
you have to give it away
to me.
No, this is another opportunity though for After Hours and for people that drop in and use it and visit to score seriously big. Okay, this is how it works. We're going to give away. I'd love to hook you up. I really would. We're going to give away a $500 gift card from Custom Dynamics. They are the ones with everything to light up your ride. And you can find them at, of course, customdynamics.com. If you've been following Instagram and some of the things going on in social media, a lot of big YouTubers and vloggers and whatnot are down there with Custom Dynamics at their location in Daytona. So if you drop in and see them, they have been so generous to the show. And I mean, you don't just give away $1,000 worth of product, and these guys did. So we really appreciated it. It's awesome. And Scott Young from Tacoma, Washington area, he picked up that first $500 gift card.
Yeah, he said he couldn't decide between headlights and tail lights, right?
Yeah, it's the age-old discussion. You look at your bike and you say, well, do I want brighter brake lights, or do I really want to see out the front more? I don't know.
Washington? They got animals in Washington?
Yeah, I would think so.
I'd go headlights.
Earth, there's animals on Earth. Yeah. Okay, so that's the one exciting thing. The other is I want you guys to know, and this is really cool for us. I was thrilled when this happened because I love the product itself. 60 Helmets has offered us an opportunity to connect you with a discount when you check them out. Use our promo code IRR2021 at 60helmets.com. 10% savings on these helmets. And if you haven't looked at the 60 designs, check them out. They're really worth looking at. And, I think they're great. I've worn mine. I'm going to get more. And you might notice, too, there was an announcement this week from Indian Motorcycle and from Tyler O'Hara Racing that he will be running a flat track bike at the Daytona Raceway this weekend.
I hope he's there on the 3rd. I hope he's there on the 13th.
Yeah.
That's when I'm there.
Well, I think so. Check it out. It's on his page on Instagram and on Facebook. So check him out. It looks like it. It's one of those test. Maybe he's a test rider for him. I don't know if it's going to be full tech. I didn't see the whole thing, but he's going to be on one.
Well, I saw him on doing some runs. I'm not sure what track he was at, but he was switching back and forth between bikes.
Right.
And he took the FTR on one, and he was like drifting around an asphalt corridor.
Well, yeah. Now, see, this is why I think that He's a great choice for the Indian Wrecking Crew and all those things that go with it because he's that guy who used to run the XR 1200 series, the Harley Davidson V twins.
Okay.
He was a flat tracker early on, about 2010. I think he said he got his pro number on a TT, a Salinas. Yeah, it's Salinas at the TT rack there. So I mean, the guy is one of the most well-rounded motorcycle racers you'll ever find, and now they've got him in the stable. So I think that's pretty cool.
Right. I'm excited. I mean, watching him on King of the Baggers and doing what he does, and even just some of his mess around videos that has put on Instagram or Facebook. I don't remember where I saw. He knows how to ride.
Oh yeah,
and
no question.
it's very awe-inspiring. Is that a thing? I don't know.
Yeah,
I felt very.
He is pretty awe-inspiring. It's the funny thing about guys like that, like is that that they have just this natural knack. It's not work for them. They get on the motorcycle and pretty soon they find the groove with the bike and they know how to race it. It's so rare out there anymore.
Yeah. So we got a couple things. One is sounds like okay, so hang on. Ricky, not so Martin, is restarting everything.
Okay. He was having technical issues on his end.
Yeah, that happens, but it was weird because we could hear him just fine. So it was totally just his audio, which is interesting. Yeah. And Brandon Picasso said he can give us a couple minutes. Who wants to hear from that? That awesome.
Yeah, come on. Studio audience.
Dude. I mean, I can't wait to get both these guys in because as a person that tries to create good content like me, I watch both of their stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, Ricky Not So Martin does great photographs. I've given up because I'm like, yeah, you're not using a phone and you're not using a GoPro. So you're not on my league. And then Picasso does let me, what, let's do this. Let's take another quick break. Let's take a quick break. Let me do some work on the sidelines. Brandon, you got about 2 minutes till I send you a link out. Let's see when we come back, we're going to talk more about my Challenger.
Right.
And right here, you want to know a little bit about
Secret Sauce CRTV1. Of course, Gary, we'll take good care of you. We'll hook you up. Don't worry. Really.
Fish Tune and Jerry might meet me at Bison tomorrow. So, all right, let's take a break. Let's come back. Let's get these great content creators in the studio and let me shoot some emails.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Indian Rider Radio After Hours. And by the way, I think tartar sauce is for real. The secret sauce, tartar sauce, I think is.
Hey guys, it's Amanda from Indian Motorcycle Charlotte and Lloyd's Garage here. I want to talk to you about our B4 custom bike series. I think there's been a little bit misunderstanding of what they are. I know you guys have seen our pictures all over social media and our website of these badass custom bikes with that custom paint job with the blue and the red in some of them. They're amazing. But it's not just that full package that you see. It's actually like a menu, and you get to pick your own custom package. You're gonna start with that menu and say you're really feeling that Dark Horse Chieftain or Roadmaster and you don't want the custom paint job. You don't have to mark it. You can go right down that line. Say you don't want the Arnaut Air Ride and the center stand. It's not really your thing. You don't have to get it. Say you don't want the fat front tire. As badass as it is, it's not everybody's flavor, and we get that. You don't have to get it. Reversely, if you just want the custom paint job and you don't want the performance, which it happens, you can do that, but that is why we do those. And I'm not going to go through the rest of the list because you want Lloyd's exhaust, you want the 126, you want the 1901 floorboards and foot pegs. The rest is a no-brainer. If you guys have more questions, feel free to give me a call, email me. Our number is 704-879-4560.
All I want to is to be close to you, but I don't know how and what to do. I'm so shy when it comes to you, but I guess you're curious, huh? So let me show you what I can do, 'cause I don't mind
And welcome again to Indian Rider Radio After Hours. I'm Curtis Sawyer, and we are glad you dropped in on a Friday night, live on Facebook on the Indian Rider Radio Facebook page, and then live on YouTube with Ridingfish's page. Check it out there. When you search Ridingfish, it's one word. That way you don't get it messed up. And there he is right there, texting.
I'm right. Hey, what? Instagram messaging? Is that the same thing?
Is it the same thing?
I think the kids say it is.
I don't know if that's true. Hey, one time again, I want to thank Thurber Jewelers and Trust No One Clothing, 60 Helmets, and of course, Custom Dynamics for all of the support and the help that they have provided the show and what they're doing for us here on Indian Rider Radio After Hours, what they do for my friend Fish, and Bison Thunder Motorcycle, taking good care of you as well, and also being a supporter for the show. So very glad to have them along. And also, speaking of having someone along, should I push the magic button?
I think third time is a charm.
Third time?
Let's bring this dude in finally before he runs off.
Brandon Picasso.
Hello.
Brandon,
How you guys doing?
how are you? Welcome to Indian Rider Radio and After Hours.
Glad to be here, man. Sorry I missed last time.
So now last week you were taking care of some family stuff, or was it a couple of weeks ago now? Everybody dialed in, everything all good?
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Hey, Brandon, when grandma calls, we go. I already know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was even outside working on the bike, and my dad called me, and I had to go help. So I was like,
I get it. I get it.
It happens.
We were on the real-time test ride, Brandon. We were out together traveling, out of Southern California. We made sure that we met Fish's sister. We met his aunt. We went to grandma's house in Imperial, California.
awesome.
Yeah, we did. And we went roaming around the countryside, visiting people that I didn't even know were on the list. It was fun. Yeah.
Hang on. I gotta. First of all, my sister is awesome.
Yeah, she is.
And she put us up, and we went to dinner.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She took. Oh, man. And by the way, she did this outdoor taco place, Brandon. That was amazing. Yeah. I don't even know where this is. It must have been in some shopping center. But that being said, yeah, that was a wonderful night. That was awesome.
Can't beat tacos. And grandma, that's where I got my talking problem from.
Oh, yeah. Grandma loves to talk. Yeah. His grandmother and I suddenly discovered that we had spent some. She grew up in New Jersey, and I had dated a girl from Seaside Heights, New Jersey, at some point. Grandma and I had the whole world together. We were good to go after that. So, hey, Brandon, congratulations! You're going down to Arizona as well. You're going to do some ride or some kind of thing, right? Yeah,
That's true. I will be in Sedona, Arizona on March 23rd. That's correct.
Wow.
So this is the whole introduce you guys, the ambassadors and whatnot, to getting on this thing and going forward, and experience the bike, right?
Actually, what I am going on is completely separate from the ambassador.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Yeah. So you got a press ride and you got the ambassador gig. So previously, I think this week, Indian had the FTR event in Phoenix, which was also the press ride. Yeah. So what I'll be doing is going on the press ride for the Chief, but I'm not an ambassador.
Well, I knew that there was both things going on. I don't know one from the other half the time. So here we go.
Do you need a bodyguard? If you need a bodyguard, I know somebody. Just letting you know.
If it's you, absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, as long as we got you here, Brandon, let me introduce him, Brandon Picasso. If you have not seen his work on YouTube, you are sorely missing, because Brandon, your stuff is so well produced, and as you can probably tell, I'm kind of a little retentive about that myself, but it's really so well produced and created. You have a skill, you got a talent. It's art.
Thank you. It's just like what Ricky said. I'm just pointing the camera, man.
I am way more than that. Wait, dude, you got skill. Did you, just so I know, did you go to school for any of this, or is this self-taught?
No, I mean, I used to play with the camera back in high school, but what I do on YouTube is nothing with what I was doing. As far as YouTube goes, everything you guys see is is things that I've learned over time. Like, I went to school for computers.
But that doesn't hurt, though.
That
when
could
you
help, yeah.
Video edit and do all that stuff, because having the tech is, at least for me, it was hard to learn.
No, absolutely, yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah, I mean, I went to school for what I do daily is system administration. That's what I do, and I get off work, I come home and edit and have time to shoot the camera work when I have the time on the weekends. But yeah, everything I've learned that you guys see is purely from YouTube.
Wow, that's really something.
So on YouTube, you're Brandon Picasso, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody, go check him out. If you haven't already, you're missing out. I'll tell you. And A in DNA stands for awesome when it comes to this guy. Jeez. No, you really do amazing work. And
I appreciate you, man.
Even something as simple as, and I noticed we all do our own niches, right? And I'm gonna just point out something that I just love of yours. It's at a stoplight, drop in music, reverse, forward, reverse. Anyway, yeah, you know what I'm talking about because you do it. It's like your thing. So
it is kind of a signature move, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick.
I gotta do that in the next video now that you say that.
Yeah, you better do it. You better do it. What do you got going on this? Any big plans for your channel or content creating this year?
Right now, I feel like since I got the V-Rod, I've been focusing a lot on muscle bikes because you know with YouTube, man, you kind of have to find your thing and kind of hit hard on it.
Yeah.
And I really, once I had that accident with the Scout, I kind of lost that. You know, I was kind of filming my friends with their Challengers, and then I had the 109.
Yeah.
And I started filming them, and I was getting a lot of views and stuff. And I found that telling their story was just as good as telling mine. But then there were a lot of people that wanted to know what was next. And something told me, you know, why not get a V-Rod? So now I'm falling down this whole rabbit hole of now I want to review every single muscle bike that's available. So
well,
right now it's going through the paces of how does the 109 compare to the V-Rod, and how does it compare to the Rocket 3, or how does it compare to the Chief, or you know, I'm kind of staying within that niche, but try not to stray too far. But you guys know, as creators, it's a balancing act, right? And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I have the same challenges. So a lot of my niche love to see Challenger stuff, but not like trip videos. So, yeah, so that happens. But you know, whatever. I guess I love all of them, and they're very supportive of the channel. But sometimes some get watched more than others.
Yeah. Well, but I'm big on the one. I mean, shoot, the 109 is in the garage, torn apart right now, so I can't ride it. But no, the V-Rod, and I guess spoiler, the Rocket 3 has been in my garage for almost a month, so I've been riding them back to back, and just experiencing muscle bikes. That's my thing.
Did you get the Rocket 3 on loan?
No, so I haven't revealed this yet. So
spoiler.
My buddy, hey, it's fine. So my buddy that, I don't know if you guys watched, the guy that owns the red Chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So he traded the Chieftain for a black Challenger, but he also bought a Rocket 3.
Okay.
And he just asked me one day, he was like, yo, do you want to borrow the Rocket for a month? I was like, serious? I was like, do you want to trade the V-Rod? He's like, no, keep the V-Rod, just take the Rocket. I was like, okay. So I got the Rocket for a month.
Not breaking my heart. Come on, man.
Yeah, I got the Rocket.
Wow.
Just like that. He just gave me the keys to it. I was like, okay.
Well, I got to tell you, one of my favorite bikes of all time, and I've lusted after it, and I had one briefly, was that M109R. And man, I just had a lot of that bike, and one of these days we're going to get together, and it's going to be just beautiful. I can just tell.
Yeah. Somebody said, don't forget the VMAX. So my plan is to eventually, again, own every single muscle bike, or at least ride them. So the VMAX is on that list.
Oh,
definitely, Mark. Yeah, it's definitely on the list. If I can either ride it or own it for a little while, perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, VMAXs are kind of hard to find, actually. It seems like that's one of those bikes that when people get them, they don't let them go.
Exactly. That's why it's hard. I know a few local people that I might be able to get a ride on one, man, but like you said, they're definitely hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, and VMAX owners are kind of protective of those because they go down and it's very expensive to put it back together. So yeah, that's not one that they get away with. Well, that is really so. When you started doing the muscle bike thing and then started to change gears, what was the response you got from the audience? Did your viewers kind of not know where you were going, or did it just kind of make a smooth groove because they like it?
You know, the crazy part is I kept the V-Rod very secret, except for a few people. And I don't think anybody on the channel, once I revealed it, saw me picking that bike as an option. Nobody saw it.
Oh, yeah. So you come out of left field and now you get some attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, nobody simply saw me buying a Harley Davidson, let alone a V-Rod. But I have gotten the comment, why would I buy the exact same bike if I have the 109? Why not get a bagger or, something the next step up? But personally, I can't afford a bagger. And to me, I treat my purchases as a business decision.
Yeah.
Right. So the V-Rod, it just made sense. It was easy to compare. And the more I own it, I realized they're not the same bike. They do similar things, but they're just not the same. So
yeah, the classification is kind of the same.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But when I get on one, like when I get on the V-Rod and compared to the 109, the V-Rod has a slipper clutch, it has a hydraulic braking system, it has ABS, it has like 40 pound-feet of less torque, but it has a similar horsepower. It's got 90 pounds of weight less than the 109. It's got a different rate. They just do things differently. So I can hop on one, ride it, and enjoy it, and still get off. And I want to get on the other one. So to me, it's just about telling that experience.
Listen, I'll just be honest with you guys. I'll jump off the Challenger and get on a moped, and I'll still be having fun. 2 wheels is damn 2 wheels. Is all I'm saying. Vespa, baby. I'll take one of them.
Yeah, I would ride it. I have unreleased video of me riding 250 Viragos and carbureted bikes. I just didn't release it. Yeah, I will ride anything.
Yeah,
you better believe it.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, I had for years. I mean, whatever was available, especially when I was first a street rider, man. Whatever I could afford, I rode. If it lasted 6 months, perfect. We're on to the next one. Yeah, that's just how it was.
But to be fair, I think I was one of the ones texting you, Brandon. What the hell did you get? Right? In our Discord, I was one of. I was like, "What did you get?" Because I was wondering the same thing. So you hit me out of left field when you said V-Rod, because I was thinking, for example, I have the Challenger and an FTR, completely different kind of setups, So yeah. Anyway,
I mean, the bikes that I considered a Challenger. I considered an older Chieftain. I considered the Bonneville Bobber from Triumph. And I even considered the older V-Rods. I was looking at like 2005s and 2006s, but the more I looked, I couldn't find one for the price I wanted. Yeah. And also one that didn't just have a ton of miles, and then the price just kept creeping. Yeah. And full disclosure, eventually I'm going to tell it on my channel as I did with the Bobber, but I got the bike for $9,600 including shipping.
There you go.
So for a 2013 with not even 5,000 miles on it,
yeah,
I got that bike for the bike itself was $9,000, but I was looking at another bike, the exact same year, the exact same color, had an exhaust on it, and they wanted $9,000, and it had 20,000 miles on it. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm looking, okay, I can ride this bike for 16,000 miles and possibly sell it for what I paid for it.
Absolutely.
On it. And it's similar to what I'm doing, so I'm not pushing my audience away too far. See what I'm saying? So
sure.
That's kind of how I'm thinking, even though everybody wanted me on an Indian. I would love to be on another Indian. When people like Ricky Not So Martin making bomb Scout Barber videos, it's like, why don't you get another Scout? Like, no, like I'm gonna get something different.
Yeah. Dude, did you see his most recent?
I watched it 3 times already.
Dude, it's sick. I'm like, that's all I wanted to talk about with him today. It's like, where is it at? Anyway, I mean, it wasn't
a message while you guys are doing that. But yeah, like, it wasn't that I didn't want an Indian, because some people asked me, like, are you against buying another Indian? And I was just like, no, it's just other than the Chief, like, I love the Chief, but it's just like when I'm looking at a $16,000 bike versus a $10,000 bike that I can sell for what I paid for it and put 16,000 miles on it.
Sure.
It just the math just didn't add up for me.
Well, no, and that bike is going to do that forever. In fact, you might do better than that by the time you part with it, because now it's a finite number.
All right. I mean, this is so I might be able to sell it for 9,000. I don't know.
Exactly.
6,000, but
I got a bike. I got a bike for you to keep in your little back of your mind. The Yamaha Warrior.
Dude, crazy part is when I first started riding, I wanted a Warrior.
Oh,
But one, they were hard to come by, and two, I only had like $4,000 at the time when I first bought my first bike.
Yeah.
And every time I called two people, and as I called them, they were literally selling the bike as I called them. And I ended up having to settle for a Suzuki M50. True story.
yeah.
The Warrior, man. That's
another one that's hard to find.
Yeah, it is hard to find again. And one of those
in good condition.
Yeah, that bike exactly, Brandon. It either got rotted to death, okay, or a guy loved it so much he kept it almost stock there or did very little to it, because that was one that guys knew as soon as it hit the ground, as soon as the Warrior started coming out, people knew this thing's got something special. And heck, yeah, good luck finding one of those anywhere. But they're out there.
Yeah, they're hard to come by. Just like I think they're harder to find than the VMAX, to be honest.
Yeah, probably by this time they are. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, cool. So this ride that you're doing, where do they take you down there?
So as far as I know, they're taking us. We fly into Flagstaff, and then we commute to Sedona.
Yep.
And then we're going to go from Sedona to Jerome. Wow. And we're going to go from Jerome to some ghost town and some old gold mine.
Nice.
And I'm going to be there for 4 days. That's all I know. Nice. They've kind of given us like point, but nothing really in between the point.
Okay.
So
it's a beautiful area. Have you ever been down there? It's gorgeous.
No, I've been to Phoenix, but I haven't been to like any of the scenic areas.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty excited, man.
Did you request like a 116? Like I'm 116 or nothing?
That's no. So I'm hoping since I've been on the 116, I'm hoping they give me at least a Chief Bobber. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's more what I resonate with versus like the Super Chief.
Mm-hmm.
I would be happy with anything they give me, but
yeah, I was actually
116, obviously.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say I'm lying. I'll ride passenger.
He would too. Yeah.
No, but
not even.
But just to highlight Indian, I'm very happy that they're starting to branch out and invite YouTubers and influencers and Instagrammers and anybody to really ride their bikes, because Triumph and Harley started doing this well before Indian, but it just shows that they're listening to the community and they're willing to give people the opportunity to ride these bikes, especially the people that are leaders in the industry, or at least the YouTubing community and stuff like that. So, I mean, because people look up to us for opinions, so they want to know what we think about it. Yeah. So I'm glad that they're finally doing that and making it easy.
Sure.
So yeah.
Well, YouTube has opened the door for people to experience things more vicariously more often. And so they can, if they have questions, we joke about the University of YouTube, but how much do we all learn from it? I mean, it's out there all the time. And when there's really expressive people like yourself or Ricky or, you name it, there's a ton of them. But because they're expressive, because they're creative, it's hard to ignore. It's one of those things that if you're an Indian motorcycle, you got to say, hey, look, these guys actually are, as the word, influencers. Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, so it's different than it used to be, because now anything's accessible and you can experience it through someone else like yourself, and the way you do it with a little bit of humor and some of the great camera work that you guys do. It's fun. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they're rewarding people that are willing to just to be frank about it, putting their life on the internet about it, right? Because it used to be where you had to be really seclusive about how much information you share about yourself. And you and Ridingfish and me and Ricky and anybody, we're sharing a portion of our life on the internet,
right,
for views. And let's just face it, we get a portion of, we have a vested interest in making money off of this. And it's good that Indian is willing to recognize that and help us along the way, and at least give us some experience so we can pass along to other people that are looking to buy bikes. Because the whole point is to help us influence more people to buy bikes.
Right, exactly. And it's funny because this topic came up this week, and it was like, for example, with me, being able to get access to people in Indian Motorcycle, to talk to some of the riders, the people that work there, the project leaders, and those kinds of things. In the past, that was not something that was readily available. And I don't know, where those other venues were, but there weren't that many. And at least now, our show can do that for them. You guys can showcase the product, and then we can also talk about guys in the aftermarket and bring the whole thing into one place where that wasn't possible even just a few years ago. It's now really starting to gel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's changing times, and I'm glad that the people that are behind Indian that are looking at us right now probably and not saying anything. They're
hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ridingfish. If you haven't heard of me, I'd love to ride a Chief in a couple weeks.
They're taking notes, man.
We will. They have dossiers,
but not tomorrow because I'm picking up my Challenger.
Yeah, Brandon, they have notes on you. They have dossiers on us.
You'd be surprised at the amount of people that are watching your videos and you don't realize it, because all you see is the view number. You don't know who's actually watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like seriously, I mean that very seriously. You simply don't know who's watching. Harley Davidson could be watching your videos and you don't know it.
Yeah, it's true, huh? I hadn't even thought of that. I thought that maybe they came off my friends list and maybe I do know them, but it's not all that likely.
It's not a bad thing, but it would be a bad thing if they weren't doing it from their vested interest. But
yep, absolutely.
Well, I know some very Indian specific people that Harley's actually reached out to.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know you do.
Yeah,
but it's smart. It's smart. It's smart.
It is smart. They, reach out to the people that they already know have the ability to do what they do. They influence. That's what they do. They can represent a brand. They can be a spokesperson. They can stand in front of the camera next to that motorcycle and have it say something. There's a lot of guys. We can say it out loud. There's a lot of content creators, bless their hearts, that are out there doing their best. But then there's others at a next level. There's another tier. And Brandon, you're one of those where you've gotten that creative thing that takes you a little bit higher. Am I right? Anybody else?
Right. You're right.
I will say full disclosure. I feel like I really got lucky with Chief. But
yeah,
I will say the things that I've learned on what people want to see when they see a bike review, especially the time that I had with the bike. I literally walked up to it. Like, you guys have been to a demo day. So many people are trying to sit on the bike and touch the bike and ride the bike. And at this specific demo, and this was completely new to me, they just give you the keys and say, just don't wreck it. Like, that was completely new to me. So when I go to my dealer that's in the state, they actually take you on like a safety ride where you got somebody in the front and somebody in the rear. This one, I was literally, they said, hey, here's the route. If you get lost, just call. I was like, okay. So and when I got back, man, I was just thinking to myself, how do I film this and not mess it up? Because I knew I had the opportunity to really do something special with it, and I really didn't want to mess it up. I was more pressured to mess it up than actually get it out on time. I would say I really don't want to.
You didn't mess it up.
How was that, Chief? Because you rode in the rain. So it looked very rainy in your video, and if anybody hasn't seen it, it's a good one. Did it look worse than it was? Is it one of those kind of moments?
I have moments on that 30-minute ride where I literally was screaming at the camera, I'm headed into death, because I literally saw the storm. I should not have been riding that bike as fast as I was. I should not. I was in Mexico.
Yeah, you were
good. You made it look fine. No worries.
And somehow I got my hands on the Chief. I was in Mexico and I saw triple digits.
Going
I
tomorrow.
shouldn't have been doing it. But hey, I shouldn't have been doing it. There it is.
It's not a day of riding unless you hit a hundo.
Hey, every time.
No, but I can't say though. They did really well on that bike. As far as like the handling and how the weight feels and how it's all distributed and how stable that bike felt, even under all those conditions, I really felt like it wasn't raining.
Yeah.
Like they did a really good job on that bike. Like it was well thought out.
And that's what I wanted to tell. I told people today, in the episode that landed this week, if you get to ride one down at Daytona or like get a
Yeah.
chance to talk to Brandon here, tell me about it. I want to know what the experience was, because my first impression of that bike is that they have this thing really, really dialed in. It will feel solid under you. It'll be nimble. It'll have all the power you want without being too much of anything. You know, it's just nail it right down the middle. Boom, there it is. Go for it. And if there's too much of anything, it's just that it's that simplistic. It's that easy.
Yeah.
I originally was thinking that maybe this bike should have had the Power Plus, but actually riding it, I didn't miss it. Like, I really didn't miss it. Now, I probably would in summer heat, but I felt like it was enough because I didn't feel like I needed to go 130 miles an hour on it.
Sure.
Like,
150
I was ripping from the stoplight.
151 is what I'm hearing the new speed limiter is set at.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's scary.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna tell you, 150 on my 109 without a windshield is scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it is.
I can't. I mean, it's stable, but for me, I'm very light. I only weigh like 168.
Okay.
I'm like being peeled off of it at 120. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
The fastest I ever went was
Mexico.
in Mexico on a Yamaha R1. I did 165.
Yeah.
Dude, you know you're fast when the dotted line becomes solid. That's all that means.
Yeah.
And then you slow back down to the speed limit, which was 55. And you're like, man, I really feel like I could just walk faster than this. It's a weird feeling. Weird feeling.
So what do you think is going to happen now that we can tune this Power Plus? Now that this tune is out, now that they got this dialed in, that opens the door for a lot of stuff. Where does it go?
Can I buy stock in Lloyd's Garage and in Charlotte?
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. Well, what I'm personally waiting on is, again, I'm on my whole muscle bike craze. Is seeing that Power Plus in a 600-ish pound bike is just going to be ridiculous. I'm honestly, I would probably be afraid of it because, like, I'm going to tell you on the Rocket 3.
Yeah.
When I put that bike in sport mode, I'm dang near scared of it because it just wants to lift the front wheel every time.
Yeah, every time.
And I can only imagine once you start adding like just a cam and a flash, you're probably looking at about 130 horsepower, 130 pound-feet of torque, maybe to the wheel.
Pretty easily, yeah, I would bet. Yeah.
My 109 does 120 horsepower, 118 to the pound-feet of torque to the crank. And I think it's too heavy to lift the front wheel.
Yeah.
On like a pull, but I've had that bike since 2014 and it still scares me. So I can only imagine new tech, more power. Yeah, that's gonna be, especially when Lloyd starts adding superchargers, and you're looking at easily 200 horsepower, 200 pound-feet of torque, probably, or close to it.
Well, but a lot of what you're talking about in creating a bike that has a Power Plus in it like that, King of the Baggers, that's where all that is coming from. That's all the stuff that those.
100%.
You know, if that ever wants to morph into a muscle bike, what happens if the M109R goes away? Okay, Suzuki isn't going to build that bike forever. They have built it forever, but they won't continue to build it forever.
Correct.
So what fills that void? Maybe something along these lines, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you put a Power Plus in something like that, would that not just be amazing? Yeah.
See, now you're starting. Go ahead, Fish.
No, go ahead and finish, and then
I was just gonna say now you're starting to fall down that rabbit hole of why I think the 109 needs to be scrapped because like it's heavy. Yeah. It doesn't have things as simple as ABS. I do think if they start adding more power, it needs traction control or at least power modes. Not that I need it, but to make the whole market more, to lower the barrier of entry to the market because there are bigger people that bought Scouts that are too big for Scouts. So they bought so now that Chief is out, it has the power modes and you know it may be too much power for them. They can buy Chief and actually like build into the power or at least get the experience into the power. Yeah, put it on tour, put it on standard and speed, and as they get better, they can, get better. So I don't know if Suzuki sees it that way. Suzuki's always been I'm going to give you everything at one time kind of company, and you're not going to be able to tune it out. I'm just going to give you everything that I can give you, and that's that kind of company.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Ryan from Lloyd's Garage said earlier that he used to tune those. So right there, boom.
Yeah. Like a lot of people have gotten ECU work, like flashes on the 109.
But
I
now
think most people are getting probably 130 horsepower, 130 to the wheel. And honestly, for me, that's enough.
It's so
Right.
much.
Yeah.
That's enough. It truly is enough, and that's a lot on a 760-pound bike. That is enough. But we want more.
Of course.
Yeah, that's kind of how what happens. It just becomes an addiction. So
Yeah.
I saw that Ricky tried to dive in and join us again here a little while ago. I don't think his connection is going to work tonight, so we apologize that if you came looking for Ricky Not So Martin, you got stuck with me and Fish, and well, of course, we then went and got really cool and got Brandon on.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. But we want you to stick around. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a few minutes. Also, don't forget, we have an opportunity coming up we'll talk more about as we wrap up the show to pick up another $500 gift card from our friends at Custom Dynamics. Everything to light up your ride. So stick around. We'll be right back. Well, there you go. We got a little something from Just Know One Clothing. They are just one of the supporters of the show. This is Indian Rider Radio After Hours. I'm Curtis Sawyer from, obviously, Indian Rider Radio, and this would be Ridingfish from Ridingfish on YouTube.
That's right.
All right.
We got some questions here, so let's just bring in Brandon quick.
Yeah, questions lined up. Here we go. Brandon, welcome back. And Brandon so joining us from YouTube, and we were talking muscle bikes and what's going on with all of that good stuff. And Brandon, while I got you here, I've always been a fan of the M109R, and I like the bike in I've liked it in a lot of the different incarnations that they've made of it. But it's really now becoming kind of long in the tooth. They haven't pushed the technology forward in that bike in a long, long time. And although the bike has always found this kind of niche audience, this kind of narrow group of guys that really dug it, it was not one of those that ever became all that popular, because you're right. Suzuki is one of those companies that dumps a lot of stuff in your lap and says, "Oh, that's all we're going to do. Okay, thank you very much." But they've also, a lot of the metric manufacturers, Kawasaki, Honda, Suzuki, all kind of stepped out of the cruiser market pretty much for a long time. They walked away almost entirely. And so now they're not somebody that people look for. Now, I remember days back in the 80s, for example, where every manufacturer had its own muscle cruiser and its own, muscle type bike like that. And that doesn't exist anymore. But it could, because now we have the Power Plus. Thoughts?
I agree. But I'm
I don't know. Well, what direction were you going with the question?
Well, it wasn't so much a question as an observation. Is eventually, if this bike phases away, if it's the one that fills this void, this V twin, muscle bike void, will Indian step in behind it?
Yeah, I think there's still a market for muscle bikes, but the thing that I think that is taking that away is the middleweight, because you got Scout, you got bikes like the Honda Rebel.
Yep.
To me, like for most people, what's the reason to get a muscle bike? I guess it's like diminishing returns. They feel like they don't necessarily need the extra power.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially when it comes to the cost, because the problem with Scout, the problem that Chief feel was you could go Scout, but there wasn't an in between. You had to go either Indian Vintage, which is, for those that don't know, that's the old Chief that they renamed to the Indian Vintage. You could go Vintage or Springfield or Big Touring. HD has had that for years, obviously, but
right.
I really don't know what Kawasaki and Suzuki and Honda is going to do, but I think Honda is somebody that's trying to feel the market out with Rebel, because that 1100 kind of hits a lot of points for a lot of people. Yeah. It's not too powerful, but it's nowhere near as expensive.
But it's approachable. That's what you need. Is you need a bike like that that's approachable to get some new, relatively new riders on them. Later, they'll do all kinds of different stuff to that, or they'll move on to something else. But you need a powerful bike that is still approachable. Doesn't have to be a monster the first time around. It just has to be a little bit different.
Hang on, that Honda Rebel 1100 has wheelie mitigation. It doesn't have that because it's a slouch.
No, are you thinking the CBR or the?
No, the Honda Rebel 1100, the new one.
Okay,
they had to put wheelie mitigation in that. So Kyle asks us, what's a bike that we've always wanted to ride but never have? And I'm gonna start with MV Agusta. I got 3. I got like all of them. MV Agusta, I'd love to take that out, put it in the garage. I fell in love with that bike. I've never even rode it, so it may be garbage. I don't know. Doubt it. That Honda Rebel 1100 is actually high on my list for this season, and then I want to get my butt on that Pan America.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you my list, and I gotta go use the bathroom. I'm gonna go with that HD Custom, because I think that bike is beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful, because I am a Thruxton R lover. I considered a Thruxton R before I bought the V Rod.
Yeah.
Also the Brutale, the MV Agusta.
Okay.
But muscle bike is the Arch KRTG1.
Yes.
That's the one. Is that the one that Keanu Reeves owns or whatever?
Yeah, Arch Motorcycle. Oh my God, yeah. Okay, so I wasn't going to get that specific, but here's my list, and then you can go to the bathroom. All right. Oh, you guys are going to laugh out loud. A 1969 Kawasaki Mach 3 500.
I was just saying, let me guess. Okay. 1971 Honda. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
you're so specific.
Yeah, the 1969 Kawasaki. Yeah, doesn't that suck? It's terrible, right? The other one is probably the next one I like to is I would like to have any of the Norton class. I think that some of those just love Nortons. There's something about those bikes that draw me out. And then I would probably lean towards something like, having an M109R. That might be my other one. That would
really?
Yeah, really. I just, there's just something about that bike that I dig. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of other ones out there, trust me, but I don't need to go fast anymore. Come on, man. I don't have that long.
But that bike goes really fast, really fast.
What are you talking about?
It goes fast, really fast.
Okay. Comparatively fast. See, he doesn't know I can ride. He doesn't know. He's never ridden with me.
No, I'm not saying that. But when you say I'm like, I don't want to go fast, I'm like, that bike wants you to go. It goes fast.
It loves EFTR Senior. Why you got to be like that, Larry? Larry Marshall of the Beach One Block already poking fun at me.
No, I think he's actually saying an FTR that's electric, but for the big people, not. But we're making up models and stuff.
Just making up. Okay,
1200.
I'm gonna cut you loose, bro. Go do it. Okay.
So listen, the 1250 custom by Harley Davidson isn't out yet, so you can't name it. So he loses. The V Twin blog says a bike that's not out yet. He loses. I'll follow it up with, I'd love to ride a Boss Hoss.
I would like to try one of those. I have been around them several times, and even ones that there was one that got traded in while I was working in the dealerships, and I refused to ride it because it just looks so clumsy and awkward. But everybody in the store had a blast with it. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'd have to try one.
So some of those people that don't know, I doubt it, but a Boss Hoss is normal. A lot of them have Corvette V8, Chevy V8 motors.
Correct.
Yeah, like 400 horsepower, 500 horsepower.
Speaking of which, if you are in Daytona and you happen to be, I don't know why you would be in Daytona Beach on a Friday night and watching us, but if you are, they are going to have an event with all of I think there's like 100 of these guys that line up at Indian Motorcycle of Daytona Beach. Along with their slingshot run, because the Polaris slingshots, they bring those out, and then they do a run with these Boss Hoss guys with these V8 motorcycles, and they are amazing. They tell me that the ground shakes. So
yeah,
we're seeing.
So there was a question in the comments. I can't remember who asked it, but he said, what did he say? It was something comparing the Challenger to a 131.
Okay. All right.
I think it's going to be really close. So I haven't got a chance to ride it. Let's be more specific. So anybody that's just tuning in, like the V-Twin blog may not know. Ryan Randall may not know.
Okay.
So my Challenger got the new ECU Flash by Lloyd's Garage. I'm so happy to have that. I am. And if you're in Daytona, right, and you want some work done to your Indian or their Victory, I'm sure they're doing both. They always do.
Yep.
You can text them. They have just a few. I was just texting Tim earlier today. They just have a few slots left. So text those guys and make it up. You know, I said to set up a Daytona fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's however you want to look at that. Of course, it's fun.
For a good time call in Daytona.
That's right. But that 131, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty close. I think it's going to be a lot closer than some people think.
I don't know. I think, again, Harley Davidson has always designed their motors, and for that matter, you know, it's not a flaw per se, but they're always more torque heavy than top end. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so with that being said, it's a slow roll sometimes up to speed, where the Power Plus doesn't have that problem. You know, even as big a, displacement is not always a solution to going faster. It is just not. The way you get there is, the way you can put out more power changes. That's what it's about. So I think you're going to have a ton of grunt in that other bike, but I don't think you're going to have the top end speed that the Power Plus can generate.
Yeah. I know that the Fuel Moto 128, I think it is.
Yeah.
That I rode on the Road Glide it had 150. That's the benchmark I would like to be at, because he walked me when I was stock. He walked me like it was not even funny. To answer this question of how much the Challenger flashes, my understanding is it's $599.99. And it's probably the best bang for a buck. I mean, that's not much more expensive than some exhaust systems. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. You got $600 on easy.
Yep, and they're very specific to the fact they work with what you're working with. It's not a canned tune. It's what do you have? We're going to do this.
Right.
And so
there's tiered ways that they've got this figured out then, rather than just, hey, this is going to one size fits all thing. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. So he specifically asked me, Fish, what's your air intake? Do you have a stock one? No, I have upgraded stage 1 Indian. Okay. What exhaust system are you running? I'm running the Cat Delete 2-to-1, 2 tab zombies with 2.5 inch. Like, he wanted to know my baffle size. So just so everybody knows very specifically, they're really putting it in down there. The CRTV one, also known as the Fish tune. Ask for the Fish tune if you have a Challenger. We have to start this.
I'm telling you. Ryan, seriously, give some thought to tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Secret sauce. You got.
Isn't there a fish sauce? Isn't that a thing too? Fish sauce? Isn't that a thing?
Well, yeah, but it's for cooking and stuff. You want something that's on a sandwich.
Why?
Right? You're not kitchen. Let's stop it.
Looking at them Harleys behind you.
Oh Lord God.
Oh, we're gonna have to work on this.
Yeah. I'm saying tartar sauce. I'm sticking with it. I don't care. If Ryan's got the secret sauce, we go tartar sauce.
Okay, tartar. Well, hey, whatever. I like it because it kind of goes with fish. Riding sauce, is that a thing? I don't know.
What has he got? Is that a light? Is that a Miller Lite? It's an ultra, isn't it? It's delicious.
an IPA.
Oh, nice. Very
Aldi
good.
special.
Outstanding. This is cold coffee for the most part.
Hey, how they're handling the ECU situation will be announced in I think the next couple of weeks is what they're telling me.
Yeah. Now isn't this the opportunity for him? No fish or tartars?
What is this? V1, what is it? Hang on. It's a really good name.
It's a CRTV one.
You're
800. Wow.
You're super, yeah. 6,800.
What is the red line on the bike now?
65.
65. So it pumps it up another 300 RPM.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They were conservative though. He said it's kind of weird if I have this right, Ryan, or if I have it wrong, correct me. He said depending on the gear, they kind of messed with the rev limiter. So the rev limiter is kind of different. But that's just because it hit speed limiter in 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Well, yeah, and you
Can't
can
even get to the rev limiter.
right, but if you started going through the gears of the Challenger, you could easily hit the red limiter in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd too as you were coming up. You were rolling the throttle on hard, and if you stuttered between there and you miss a shift, that's no fun. I'll tell you. So,
Well, let me ask you this: Is this tune taking the speed limiter off?
He could have. He reset it for like safety and all the good stuff.
Yeah, that was my big thing with the Challenger was that what is it, like a 110 miles per hour speed limiter?
Yeah, 110.
Because what we found was, even though my 109 had slipping clutches at the time, when we do this again, it's gonna be hitting right. I'm not gonna get caught slipping again. We found that being that the Challenger has that 6,500 RPM limit stock,
Yeah.
that when you're shifting, the 109 is still pulling. So you shift again, and the 109 again is still pulling. It's kind of similar with the V-Rod. The V-Rod has like an 8,000 obscene number of RPM limit, but
now I see in that V-Rod motor though, it's 1200. The 1200cc V-Rod motor was tuned to have a higher top end. You know,
right.
it does have some grunt down low, but it doesn't last very long. You get that one, whole shot, if you will, and then it starts to rev up. But that bike that'll go hard all the way to the limiter. It really will. If you got
to rev it out though. That's it gets the weight advantage, but when we played around with it with the Challenger, the front wheel came up on the Challenger with the trunk on it, which is just crazy when you think about it. All that weight and that power, and that thing pops that front wheel with the trunk on it. And I'm not talking like a Razor trunk. I'm talking like the full-fledged Roadmaster trunk. It was right there with the V-Rod. So I can only imagine with ECU flash and the cams, that's going to be ridiculous.
That's going to be neat. Yeah.
And I know some people might be chiming in thinking, that's not a lot of power when you compare it to a sports bike. But when you got an 800 plus pound bike moving at that kind of speed, at that pace, that's ridiculous. That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, we took a couple of Roadmaster Limiteds out there and saw what double digits and triple digits look like, and they get to be a handful about $120.
I was just gonna say that 116 in the Chief, I was impressed by that. As much as I want a Power Plus, it's only because the Power Plus and my riding style go together so well. And to get the best out of the Thunderstroke, you just got to shift a little earlier, I found.
Right.
But when you do, it runs great. There's no doubt about that. I never take away power from the 116. It's just like a preference, a ride preference.
But keep in mind though, and this is one of the things I heard early on when I was first working in dealerships on the sales floor. Guys would buy the bike coming off of Harley Davidson or Victory or whatever they were riding at the time, and then they would, or maybe even some of the guys coming off metric bikes, and they didn't understand that you got to take the Thunderstroke. You get outside that 500-mile break-in period, run that thing right up there. Let it run in the higher RPM ranges. And, because guys don't realize that bike really does want it. It excels at that rate. And if you'll treat it that way, it will respond. You got to get it up there and run it.
Yeah.
And those are amazing numbers. I'm sorry, I was talking over that, but those are, yeah.
Yeah. Ryan's saying that the fish tune tartar sauce, the CRTV 1 limit is 146.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. 146. They couldn't go much higher even if they wanted to, only because those tires are 140 tires.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point is that a parachute that you're trying to push through the wind? I mean, there's a reason why Yamaha R1s and MV Agusas and all that, they're narrow. You're tucked in. You're not pushing a sail, 140 miles an hour. So,
yeah, guys our size, Brandon, we would look like flags flapping in the breeze.
No, that's
put some stick on the hands.
Yeah, I have to lock them down. Yeah. Wow.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, but you were telling me, Fish, when you first talked to Ryan and you were going through this whole thing, that it's more than not just knowing what your setup is, what your intake, exhaust, all that, but there was incremental things that are different about how this tuner worked, and it really required that they had to break it down element by element by element to get it to work together, right? It was not just a matter of, let's get a better fuel flow or whatever. All of it is into it, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to sound like I know everything, but Ryan, this was his words. I'm very happy on day one I didn't find the rev and speed limiter, because we may have stopped. And there's so much more to this ECU that gave us the potential to make this bike run on a whole nother level.
Okay, so instead of finding what we would all go normally looking for, right? I mean, that's what the first tuning things would be, is look for those things.
Yep.
They didn't find them, but it then said, hey, by the way, you're not dealing with your everyday ECU here.
No, Ryan, and not to put words in his mouth, but I'm just going to put words in his mouth. He said this ECU is something similar you'd find in like an R8, a brand, like a new super car type situation. This is a car ECU. So yeah, it was a lot more entailed than, hey, let's just make the air fuel ratio a little better and let's the speed limit and the rev limit. And it wasn't like that at all. So
what'd you find, Brandon? You were looking at something.
Well, he also said that they increased the speed by 33.3%.
Correct.
That is ridiculous.
It's a third faster. It's a third faster.
I found the Challenger fast enough. When I was doing, I just feel like the speed limiter.
I think it's about the speed limiter. Like, I don't know if that's the 0 to 60 or anything like that. Hey, when you raced the Challenger and your clutch was falling, did you drop in? I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up.
Pretty much. I was upset about that because I figured the Challenger would not necessarily get pulled on. I expected it to be there, but I didn't expect to get walked on. I was really upset about that. I truly was. Like, I didn't show you guys the conversation we had afterwards, but I was like, I feel disrespected. I did not like that at all.
Well, I know Traveling Tall, man, he's the man. He also is just a cool person. Him and I have been going back and forth for like a while now about Harley versus, and he has that zipper. Was it zipper 128 or something in his Street Glide? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I've been all, hey, now I'm ready. I'm ready.
We're supposed to be meeting up sometime. I think in April we're supposed to be meeting up when it gets a little bit. When the temperature goes up, I got to get a piece of that zipper, man.
I'm just saying he hasn't sent me nothing, and he has my phone number. I'm gonna text him.
He's got mine too. He's talking about like doing this big meetup thing, but I mean he's not here to defend himself. But that zipper, man, people swear by it. I really truly think the 109 and the Challenger would be able to take it.
Yeah, he's not here. That's why I talk trash, because if he was in front of me, I wouldn't say damn thing.
Well, he is hanging out with Custom Dynamics today.
He is.
And think about that. That's awesome. You guys, these bikes are going to go a whole new direction now. When we can get this kind of performance out of these bikes, it's going to lend itself to other muscle bikes. I think will come out of this evolution. I think that you're going to see a whole different kind of skew and some things that develop in the aftermarket that are going to be different. And it's going to push motorcycling and engine development forward. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to happen with something like this.
Hey, so, okay, it's Custom Dynamics.
Yeah.
So they want to give away $500, but not to me. Do we know how? Do we know how that's going to be given away? Me and you haven't really discussed this, so now I'm learning right now.
Okay, so this is kind of a little forewarning, and I wanted to bring it up this week so that we can actually give it away next week. Okay. Start thinking about how this works is basically come by, hang out, drop in, and in the comments, all you have to do is remember something, and it's simple. Okay. Go to the Custom Dynamics website and they will have it right there and you'll know exactly what it is. In the comments next week, if you want a shot at winning the Custom Dynamics $500 gift card, everything that lights up your ride. Okay, or what is it? Everything that, whatever their tagline is, and I just messed it up, I think. But I'm sorry, guys. But everything that lights up your ride, or everything that is, I think, their tagline. If it is, that's what we want to see in the comments next week. So this way, you have to make an appointment and come back, and then we'll pick for somebody at random. In fact, we might even let our guest pick somebody at random, and they will take home the $500 gift card. We just want you here next week on Friday.
Yeah. And even if you forget, we'll give you guys a way to win next week. So here's the deal. This is what we should do.
What's
Anybody that? Next week. So we got a few people watching. We got a half a hundo. Next week, when you're watching, you comment their tagline, and we'll kind of give you like a bonus or something. Like,
sure.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Comment with the tagline. We'll hook you up with something, but if we'll draw then or let our guest, somebody will pick one of you all at random who had the right line in there, and you're fine to go. Okay.
Everything that lights up your ride.
Is that what it is? Everything that lights up your ride?
Anonymous usually knows what the hell he's talking about. Another content creator that we need to have on
next week, please.
Yes.
Okay. So perfect. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we have so many, there's a lot of stuff going on. I've got stuff to give away from Rocky Mountain Performance. They make a floorboards for Scout, and they make some for Thunderstoke. But here's the cool thing. Now, Brandon, you had a Scout, right?
Yes.
You did. Okay. Floorboard options for those were pretty limited for quite some time, right? Well, the gentleman we know from Rocky Mountain Performance, he's in Fort Collins. He bought a Scout, wanted to work on the thing, and he was an engineer, and he worked in industrial automation and that kind of thing. And he has a rendering devices on how to 3D model these things. So he created this set of floorboards that has a forward and a backward mount, meaning that you could push them forward if you're taller and mount them that way, or they have a secondary mount if you're shorter. Okay. They're all high grade aluminum with a black or a black base and a black insert, or a polished base and a black insert. But they're amazing because you can also then raise the shifter and get as big a foot in there as you want, or as small a foot as you want, because you couldn't do that with some of the other aftermarket ones. You couldn't move the shifter height.
Or even think about this. It could be your shoe, your boot, or
your boot's big or whatever.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah. And for guys that are looking for something that's custom or different, it's kind of a diamond plate look, so it's kind of edgy. It would look great on a bobber or anything like that. Or if you're looking for that street kind of built not bought look, that would be a great choice. Rocky-Mountain-Performance.com. They're like $269. Hand makes pretty much every one of them. They're cool. Yeah.
And then I think we got to call it a day, I'd say.
We do. We've been here almost 90 minutes, and it's time to wrap this thing up. So, when we rattle on that long, it just bores human beings. This is the number you need to text if you want to get set up at Lloyd's Garage at Indian Motorcycle Daytona Beach. Check them out for tuning on the brand new CRTV1 tune that is ready to put Challenger over the top. And then, of course, stop by and see them for everything, including the 1901 Customs. And they are revealing, ready for this, their Daytona B4 bikes.
B4 bikes.
What?
Oh, man, these things, I'm telling you what, Lloyd knows how to make it run fast, but Tim can really make them look good. Those are beautiful bikes. If you saw them online, they're amazing.
Yeah, they do. Next week, another little teaser. We have to talk about this new Indian Elite Chieftain.
We do. And while we have just a couple of minutes here, can I just highlight this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. As recently I've been getting information a little ahead of time for things like the Chief release and the FTR, and kind of doing what the show has always hoped I would, is that we'd be able to connect with people from India, right? And well, this time around, there was all the kind of things that they were putting together for the promotion of the new Chieftain Elite.
Hang on, here I go. I got to interrupt.
Okay.
So some smart person at India Motorcycle,
right,
goes, "We need the voice of God. We need the sexy motorcycle voice."
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
So they called Mr. Curtis Sawyer from Indian Rider Radio.
Right. Now look, okay. So,
Are you serious?
yeah, they hit me up with voiceover for it. Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, but there won't be a video.
Yeah, they found out he runs with fish. They axed his ass.
Shot me down. No, it's kind of funny because I guess that in talking to their marketing department, there was a time crunch and the video hadn't worked out quite the way I wanted it, and then they were going to do the release no matter what because they'd already told dealerships. And so after I got all done laying out all these vocal tracks and sending them off to them, nothing.
Right. I do want to mention that's still an incredible opportunity, though.
Oh, no question.
Which means that you will more than likely probably be on something in the future, if not for this.
I would sure hope so. I think it would be a lot of fun. It was kind of cool because when they first asked me, I was like, really? What? Come on, you guys got in-house people that do this, right? But no, they asked me if I would lay down. It was kind of a testimonial type video, apparently. So I just rambled on about the Chief Elite for a while, and because I ride a Roadmaster Elite, and yeah.
So just so everybody gets a watch. Here's an example.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, is he going to do this to me? Okay,
right.
No, I have to disclaimer this before you run it. This is not sanctioned by Indian Motorcycle. This is not something they asked me to do. I was messing around with the press materials. Go ahead.
Yeah. But this was this or was this not the voiceover that you did send them?
No, that's not the one. This is one I just made.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, this is okay. Well, here we go. The voice of God in the Indian Chieftain Elite.
Sometimes you'll see something and you'll just know. When you consider all the choices you could have made, you realize there was only one choice all along. When you can own any motorcycle, this is the only one to own, the Indian Motorcycle Chieftain Elite. It's one of just 120 worldwide. Hand-painted and created with the meticulous attention to detail reserved for artists and sculptors. The Chieftain Elite is no ordinary motorcycle. And it's not intended for just anyone. It was built for you. Powered by the mighty Thunderstroke 116 motor, featuring power band premium audio, alongside features and trim that leave nothing to the imagination. The Chieftain Elite is the ultimate expression of style and sophistication. Let them know you've arrived. And you don't even have to say a word. The all-new Chieftain Elite from Indian Motorcycle. As unique as you are. All right, I'm embarrassed.
That was pretty perfect. I like it.
For the best 2021 Chieftain Elite voiceover drop.
Yeah.
After hours, Indian Rider Radio.
Well, that or I could be selling mattresses. So it's one way or the other, right? No, it was fun. They sent me the press kit and I did finally get it all. And looked at all the stuff and went, well, I could play around with this. And I thought, well, if we do a big reveal or anything, I would use parts of it. And that was one of the things I got monkeyed around with. And it was my afternoon one day.
Well, you did a great. Well, we'll have to talk about that next week a little bit. And yeah, that's all. 120, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very many.
Well, the Chieftain, I think what you're seeing with the elites, and we'll go into this another time, but maybe, the elite models were designed to be showcase pieces, show off what the paint guys could do, show off what the trim and accessories would look like. That's what those are for. You put them on the showroom floor so they show everything. There's power band audio. There's, hey, look, we can do this. But they also appeal to guys that have, a flair for the dramatic, or they like something that's unique, because these are all limited production bikes. And even for years, they might have used the same kind of graphics on them, but they never were too identical for a lot of years. They did a lot of stuff by hand. And that matters to a lot of guys, and especially those of us that have kind of a heritage kind of feel with Indian motorcycle, is that we want to know that somebody had their hands on our bike. There's something very special and unique about it. And therefore, it was just one of those things that I think that people really gravitate to for that reason. Second, and now with the Jack Daniels bikes and some of the other trim levels that they're taking the bikes in different directions, I think the elite now is trying to find a little different groove, just a little bit different. And that's what I think you see in this new one here, is that they've created a paint scheme that was amazing, and then did some things with some of the parts and accessories that you might see eventually land on another bike, like a low rent Morgan Freeman. Really?
That's what Ryan said, right?
Oh, okay. Now
I'm over here just dropping all these.
A full insult to Morgan Freeman, for God's sake. What are you doing to that? What did he ever do to you, Randall?
Well,
oh, that was awesome.
You guys, I hate to be the one that actually ends the party, but
you got to rock out tonight?
Yeah, I got to go in at like 1 or 2 or 3 or something. And I got to go pick up a Challenger.
I was gonna say we need to find out about this Challenger. I'm tuning in as soon as it drops. I need to know.
Well,
okay,
he'll get you hooked up with that.
I need to know what I'm going to be up against, because I promise you, when the 9 is back together in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be finding out what this bike can do, because he's going to get it done.
Okay,
Uncle, he's getting it done to his Challenger. He's getting it done.
Hey, better late than never.
Yeah, he's going to. Hey, there's Tim.
Yeah, we were just talking about you. We were just dropping the number 843.
Big fat front wheel kits and paint jobs, and
look, you get a screen
and trunks on the bikes.
Fun times in Daytona, baby. So yeah, once again, they only got a couple spots left. So yeah, text them up. I mean, by now it might even be, if you're not doing it now, you might. I don't know. Are they 9:30? They're still taking text, knowing Tim.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you for joining us this week on short notice and out of no place. And, we love your work. Keep on keeping on. And one of these times, maybe after you get to do that ride opportunity, maybe come on the podcast. Let's talk about the bike. Let's talk about what you got going on. Just let that roll a little bit. Let that simmer.
Gotcha.
All right, Brandon Picasso, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a good night, my friend. All right, Brandon, on the road, and you, sir, now you are getting Challenger happy, right? And you're going to get this thing dialed in and get it presented for us as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm going to pick it up tomorrow, and then I'll be working on everything tomorrow and Sunday, and I'll have some stuff out for you guys on Sunday.
Outstanding. Well, we're looking forward to that. Of course, Ridingfish on YouTube. That's what the logo looks like, because sometimes you'll just stumble across it.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for coming back. And guys, thank you for joining us every week. It's a lot of fun to do these shows, and it's more fun when you ride along with us. We got $500 of giveaway from Custom Dynamics, and we'll do that next week. We already told you how, so all you got to do is rewind and listen.
And I can't win, which
you can't win.
Right.
No.
That's 2 now.
You already won. You get the Challenger tune. First guy in the line. Come on.
You know what? You're right.
Right? You already won.
I'm a winner.
Right on your heels is going to be Jason DeMent from Brave Wolf. Just you watch.
I'm a winner.
Is that what you are?
He's in Daytona.
Yeah, they're going to have some fun there. All right, you guys, it's been a blast. We'll come back next week and see you right here, 8 p.m. Eastern time, every Friday. Indian Rider Radio After Hours with my friend Ridingfish and me. That's all it takes. Have a good night. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.